Hello, I am Dr. Upendra Galgatte, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigdi, Pune. I am going to discuss pre-formulation study with reference to chemical properties. Drug is likely to undergo one of the following chemical modification or chemical change depending on its nature. This include hydrolysis, oxidation, reduction, racemization or polymerization. Now let us see all those routes of chemical modification in detail. Among this, hydrolysis is the first one. Drug undergoes decomposition in presence of solvents. If solvent is water, then it is termed as hydrolysis. Drugs having labile carbonyl group in their structure, for example, esters, lactones, lactams, etc., are sensitive for hydrolysis. Now see the examples of these groups. Drugs having ester group are aspirin, dexamethasone, sodium phosphate, nitroglycerin, estrone sulfate, etc. Drugs having lactone ring structure include pilocarpine, spironolactone. Drugs having lactam ring in their structure are penicillins and cephalosporins, and drugs having it group in the structure include thiacinamide and chloramphenicol. Oxidation is the second important route of decomposition. Oxidation is a loss of electron from an atom. Oxidation involves free radicals and subsequent chain reactions. Very small amount of oxygen is required to initiate chain reaction, usually mediated through atmospheric oxidation. Therefore, it is known as autooxidation. Autooxidation reactions are initiated usually in presence of trace amount of metal ions and hydroperoxides. Examples are ferric ions catalyzes oxidation of procaterol hydroperoxide. In polyethylene glycol suppository bases provoke oxidation of codeine to codeine N oxide. Peroxide facilitates oxidation of benzocaine hydrochloride in aqueous cetomacrogol solution. The role of reactive oxygen species is important here in oxidation. Some examples of reactive oxygen species are hydroxyl radical, hydrogen peroxide, superoxide, and singlet oxygen. Examples of drugs undergo autooxidation include drugs containing phenol group, examples phenols in steroids, drug containing thiol group, for example dimercaprol, drug containing amine group, for example morphine, carboxylic acid, for example fatty acids. Drugs containing catechols include catecholamines, for example dopamine. Now here the significance of removal of oxygen from pharmaceutical container comes. Therefore, in most of this, nitrogen and carbon dioxide is used to displace the headspace air in the pharmaceutical container. Therefore, it is possible to avoid the auto-oxidation of pharmaceutical products in their container. Oxidation may be inhibited by antioxidants. We know different antioxidants are used in pharmaceutical products, and by using them we can inhibit the oxidation process. Some commonly used antioxidants include sodium sulfite, sodium metabisulfite, sodium bisulfite, sodium thiosulfate, and ascorbic acid. Now the third number route of chemical modification is reduction. Reduction reactions are much less common than oxidative processes in pharmaceutical practice. However, some reduction reactions observed of metals. The example is reduction of gold, reduction of silver or mercury salts by light to form the corresponding free radical. Racemization is another route of chemical modification of our interest. Racemization is the action or process of changing from an optically active compound into racemic compound or an optically inactive mixture of corresponding R and S forms. Enantiomers often have significantly different absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion in addition to different pharmacological action. Examples of drugs undergo racemization include epinephrine, pilocarpine, ergotamine, and tetracycline. Reaction mechanism involves intermediate carbonium ion stabilized electronically by neighboring substituent group. Most racemized reactions are catalyzed by acid and or base. Epimerization. Members of the tetracycline family undergo epimerization. This reaction occurred rapidly when the dissolved drug is exposed to a pH of an intermediate range, that is higher than 3, and results in steric rearrangement of the dimethyl amino group. The epimer is epitetracycline. This has little or no antibacterial activity. Now let us see BCS classification of drugs and its significance. This is Biopharmaceutical Classification System. It is abbreviated as BCS. This is based on intestinal permeability and solubility of drugs. This system is developed by Amidon et al. According to this system, there are 4 classes of drugs. Class 1 is high solubility and high permeability. Class 2, low solubility and high permeability. Class 3, high solubility and low permeability. Class 4, low solubility and low permeability. Now let us look at this table. This table shows the class-wise examples of drugs. Now let us go to the class 1, where the class 1 is characterized by the drugs having high solubility and high permeability. Such drugs are well absorbed through GIT. Gastric emptying may be the rate limiting step for them. For example, diltiazem. For class 2 drugs, where the low solubility and high permeability are the properties, drug absorption is variable in GIT. Dissolution may be the rate limiting step for them. Nifedipine is the example given. For class 3 drugs, where there is a high solubility and low permeability of drugs, the absorption is variable again in GIT. The permeability may be the rate limiting step for them. The example is insulin. For class 4 drugs, where both solubility and permeability are low, owing to which there is poor absorption of these drugs through GIT. Therefore, the rate limiting step is not particular, but it is a case by case. The example is Taxol. Now you can see in class 1, both solubility and permeability are high. However, in case of class 4 drugs, both solubility and permeability are low. Therefore, now here class 4 drugs are in limited use due to their low solubility and low permeability. However, the research should be carried out in this particular area in order to change either their solubility or permeability to make them more useful. Now let us discuss significance of BCS classification. Solubility of drug is the important prerequisite for the absorption of a drug by all mechanisms except endocytosis. Therefore, we can predict the pattern of drug absorption in GIT. The pattern may be well absorbed, poorly absorbed, variation in absorption, etc. Also, we can predict rate limiting step in absorption. The other significance is based on this information, we can target our dosage form or delivery system to a particular site in GIT. We can design such a dosage form. One more significance is we can overcome the rate limiting step in absorption by doing physical and chemical modification in drug, and thus we made it available biologically in more amount and subsequently therapeutic concentration and thus therapeutic effect. Another significance is BCS classification reflects on choice of dosage form. We can make drugs of the class 4 more soluble by doing modifications, otherwise two limitations for them. Simply, we can convert less useful drugs to more useful one. Now let us discuss applications of pre-formulation considerations in the development of solid dosage forms. Physical and chemical characterization of the pure drug enables to select possible excipients in the line of development of solid dosage forms such as powders, granules, tablets, pills, capsules, etc., and possible route of administration, mainly oral, secondly rectal and vaginal. Pre-formulary highlights possible problems that would likely to appear at the time of processing or manufacturing of solid dosage forms. For example, compressibility and flow rate of powders. Another application include this pre-formulation consideration provides rationale for solid formulation design. In addition to this, it also provides stability aspects of dosage forms that further reflects in selection of containers and closures and storage conditions. Now let us have a look on the applications of pre-formulation considerations in the development of liquid dosage forms. Selection of possible excipients in the development of liquid dosage forms such as solution, suspension, emulsion and their possible routes of administration. Pre-formulation study highlights possible problems that would likely to appear at the time of processing or manufacturing of liquid dosage forms. For example, mixability with other solvents, viscosity, porability, and spreadability, etc. Pre-formulation consideration provides rationale for liquid formulation design. In addition, that also provides stability aspects of liquid dosage forms that reflects in selection of containers and closures and storage conditions. Now, let us continue the applications of pre-formulation considerations in the development of parenteral dosage forms. Selection of possible excipients in the development of parenteral dosage forms such as small volume parenterals, large volume parenterals, depot preparations, lyophilized preparations with their possible route of administration may be IV, intramuscular, intraarterial, etc. Selection of possible excipients in the development of some sterile products other than above, for example, sterile ointments, eye drops for ophthalmic route, etc. Pre-formulation study highlights possible problems that would likely to appear at the time of processing or manufacturing of parenteral dosage forms, for example, thermal stability during sterilization, solubility at high temperature, mixability with other solvents, viscosity, porability, and injectability, etc. Pre-formulation consideration provides rationale for parenteral formulation design. In addition to this, it also provides stability aspects of parenteral dosage forms which further reflects in selection of suitable container and closure and storage conditions.